Former President Donald Trump looked to be out of breath during a rally in Coralville, Iowa, prompting a variety of emotions and discussions about his health. This episode has added another layer to the political discussion surrounding Trump, particularly as he prepares to run for president in 2024. The reaction to this incident has been mixed. Before I begin, I will explain everything in this video. Please subscribe and enable alerts to begin receiving daily breaking news from us. Thank you very much. On the one hand, Trump's critics and adversaries have highlighted worries about his health, emphasizing the importance of a possible candidate's physical and cognitive well-being, especially considering his age. Trump supporters, on the other hand, have downplayed the incident, concentrating instead on the content and intensity of his address. The Biden-Harris HQ Twitter account responded. This attracted attention to Trump. The fact that he appears to be out of breath illustrates the increased scrutiny that possible presidential candidates endure over their health. This is not a new phenomenon with Trump. Given his age, President Joe Biden has also faced challenges about his health and suitability to serve. Trump's health has been a source of concern in the past, and he has taken steps to address these concerns, such as releasing a doctor's report. However, due to a lack of specific information in the report, certain questions remain unanswered. It is worth mentioning that health and fitness for office are key concerns for any presidential candidate, especially given the responsibilities of the president. The Iowa incident further highlights the intertwining of health narratives with political strategy. Trump's use of a well-known rhetorical question, "Were you better off 4 years ago or today?" was used by Ronald Reagan against Jimmy Carter to frame the approaching election in terms of a retrospective, an assessment of the state of the country. As the presidential election of 2024 approaches, it is probable that health and fitness for office will remain important themes of discussion for both Trump and Biden, should they choose to run. This emphasis on health highlights the public's desire to ensure that presidential candidates are physically and mentally prepared to lead the country. In conclusion, the incident at the Iowa rally serves as a reminder of the severe scrutiny that presidential candidates endure, as well as the importance of health in political campaigns. The present situation of the legal matter involving former President Donald Trump, as reviewed by New York Supreme Court Justice Arthur Gorin and New York Attorney General Letitia James, must be clarified. As of my last report, Trump and his firm were facing charges of falsifying asset valuations to obtain preferential loan terms and tax breaks, making the issue primarily a civil matter. The case, which has garnered fierce judicial battles and public attention, had not resulted in the confiscation of Trump's commercial empire or his prohibition from having enterprises in New York. Instead, the hearings were still in progress, with both parties presenting their arguments and evidence. In the absence of a jury, Justice Gorin, the judge presiding over the case, plays an important role because he is responsible for making the final verdict. His choices throughout the trial, including any pretrial rulings, are significant because they determine the outcome. Attorney General Letitia James has led the prosecution. While she initially requested a large financial penalty, the exact outcome of her requests, including any potential fines or business limitations imposed on Trump, remains unknown. The exact outcome of her requests, including any potential fines or business limitations imposed on Trump, remained undetermined. The procedure includes a thorough assessment of the evidence and arguments submitted by both parties. The judge is expected to extensively deliberate and be informed by the case's intricacies, which involve several claims and counter-allegations. The claims of expropriation of Trump's commercial empire and barring him from owning enterprises in New York are significant allegations that would necessitate a final judicial decision. Such outcomes would be unheard of, and significant, not just for Trump but for the legal and commercial community as a whole. It is critical to keep up with trustworthy sources for the most recent developments in this high-profile case. The conclusion is expected to significantly impact Trump's future economic ventures and public image. The court determines the final conclusion in legal disputes, especially ones of this nature, following a long process of legal inspection and debate. Mary Trump is former President Donald Trump's estranged niece. She is well known for her outspoken criticism of her uncle and other Trump family members. In her most recent article on Substack, as reported by Newsweek on December 8, 2023, she details a number of charges against members of her extended family, with a special focus on Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump's spouse. In her essay titled The Crimes That Are a Change in Mary Trump, she details several charges of impropriety against Kushner during his career. According to her, the claims range from conflicts of interest to fraud and even treason. Unless proven in a court of law or through official investigations, these allegations should be treated as such. Some of the primary issues raised by Mary Trump are conflict of interest and the status quo. She accuses Jared Kushner of exploiting his position in the Trump administration for personal gain, citing a 2018 New York Times investigation. She claims that Kushner met with executives from Apollo Global Management and Citigroup, both of which ultimately provided substantial loans to the Kushner family's real estate firm. The disclosure of financial interests is omitted. Mary Trump also claims that Kushner omitted to disclose his ownership share in his startup company Cadre on his financial disclosure filings, which she regards as fraudulent. Campaign funds were allegedly misappropriated. She cites a 2020 story by The Intercept stating that Kushner established a shell business that spent more than $600.00 million of Donald Trump's campaign funds and surreptitiously compensated members of the Trump family. Mary Trump mentions Kushner's apparent tight ties with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, implying that Kushner may have violated U.S. interests for personal benefit. She cites a New York Times report stating that Kushner's company received a $2 billion investment from the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. It's critical to treat these charges with caution and recognize that they represent only one person's point of view. Mary Trump's position as a critic of her family, as well as her distance from them, may have an impact on her perspectives and interpretations of events. Online speculation has been generated about the court where Donald Trump's fate in his civil fraud trial will be decided, with people asking who initiated it and why. Judges Arthur and Gorin issued a partial summary judgment in a lawsuit launched by New York Attorney General Letitia James in September, saying that Trump and Trump Organization executives committed fraud. He stated that Trump inflates the worth of his assets in order to get better conditions from lenders and insurance companies. The balance of the trial will determine the amount of restitution the Republicans will pay, as well as the punishment for 6 additional offenses, including fabricating business documents, insurance fraud, and conspiracy. The trial concluded after 10 weeks with the hearing of Gorin's final testimony on Wednesday. The decision is due next month. A tiny fire broke out 4 hours after the trial ended, adding to the drama. 2 court officials told Business Insider that a guy set fire to documents inside the state Supreme Court in Lower Manhattan, then activated a fire extinguisher, prompting an evacuation. Authorities arrested an anonymous male who is not a judicial official. According to the Daily Mail, there is still no evidence as to who ignited the fire or what their goals were. 17 people were hurt. According to preliminary evidence, at approximately 4:15 p.m. today, an individual squeezed a fire extinguisher on the 4th floor of 60 Center Street to extinguish a fire, he said, according to Al Baker, a spokesperson for the state's court system. The evacuation of 3 floors of the courthouse resulted in no significant injuries. The New York City Fire Department responded. The authorities are currently investigating the situation. The authorities have apprehended the man. Someone wondered who ignited the fire on Twitter. Democratic supporter John Westergren commented, "I believe this is only the beginning. There will be more civil turmoil. Did a man set fire to a different cause? Please, we all know that Trump's lies can cause harm or even death to someone. There is no evidence to back up these allegations." The former president, who has denied any culpability in the matter, was not present when the fire broke out. Also, according to a recent analysis, someone who is so inept at working with lawyers should not be the nation's commander-in-chief. On Wednesday, National Review questioned the efforts of many of the attorneys defending the former president against the myriad criminal and civil allegations he faces, while also attacking his client from hell. "I feel cheated every time I hear Trump's statements," writes Dan McLinn, who works with Trump's lawyers. Working with Mr. Trump's lawyers, the persistent incompetence of people conducting simple compliance procedures on Mr. Trump's behalf must damage this man's ability to lead at some point. Incompetence. This enraged Trump, prompting him to lie and make charges. Is responsible for their legal blunders. According to McLinn, this includes failing to request a jury in New York Attorney Letitia James' $250 million civil fraud action and failing to defend presidential immunity in response to E. Jean Carroll's $5 million civil complaint. The defects in Carroll's defamation claim came back to haunt Trump on Wednesday, when the New York Court of Appeals declared that if he did not relinquish his right to an immunity defense sooner, he would forfeit it. McLinn said Trump gets bad lawyers because good lawyers are running. Others have signed plea deals to avoid being co-defendants in his election tampering cases or $43 million defamation lawsuits that gained global attention. McLinn Sake. This tendency of Trump is concerning, given his 2024 presidency. President. The president leads. This behavior got Trump sued. Currently, first. The president delegates most tasks. Leave comments below with your thoughts. Please thumb up if this video helped. In an astonishing turn of events, a former Deutsche Bank official has testified that it might torpedo New York Attorney General Letitia James's case against former President Donald Trump. This surprising revelation during Trump's spectacular civil fraud trial casts doubt on financial misbehavior charges. On December 17, 2023, this enigmatic Deutsche Bank executive, now known as Williams, smashed the prosecution score case on the stand. Williams brazenly claimed that lenders often accept loans despite clients' net worth exceeding bank estimates. This bombshell revelation casts doubt on Attorney General James' case's lawsuit, which seeks $250 million in damages and bans Trump and his children from doing business in New York. Williams stressed that lenders see clients' declared assets as subjective judgments, thus, a value discrepancy does not exclude them from loan acceptance. A court that takes this view may degrade. James claimed Trump inflated his assets to mislead lenders and insurers. The 11-week trial has seen extensive evidence and over 24 witness interrogations. Williams' testimony suggests that the New York Attorney General may have portrayed the financial transactions under investigation as a horrible crime, strengthening Trump's case. In an intriguing Fox News interview, Trump attorney Helena Haber echoed the Deutsche Bank executive's claim. The bank maintained that the Trump Organization is a valued client. Haber revealed that Nobel Committee Executive Committee members and other expert witnesses thoroughly examined the accounting records and found no issues, dismissing the New York Attorney General's case. Trump criticized the trial on Twitter, calling it crooked. Biden directed. Biden insisted that he had provided indisputable testimony and would not entertain any questions. Trump also touted the continuous support he received from banking, insurance, and real estate leaders who spoke to his and his company's financial integrity. Experts question Judge Arthur Engoron's handling of Trump's fraud trial. Critics argue Judge Engoron overstepped by dissolving some of Trump's New York firms before the trial. An appeals court has delayed the judge's verdict while reviewing its legality. Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik filed a judicial ethics complaint against Judge Engoron for bias and unethical behavior. Stefanik complained that the judge's disregard for the defendant's rights to a fair trial and due process might misuse the judicial system and influence the case's outcome. The Deutsche Bank executive's surprise testimony has energized the legal process and may change Donald Trump's financial deceit claims. Both parties argue their case in this high-stakes courtroom drama against a backdrop of escalating political tensions. The esteemed professor earned almost $900,000 to testify in the $250 million accounting fraud case against former President Donald Trump, despite the lack of evidence. The respected Stern School of Business professor received over $900,000 last week to be an expert witness in a New York civil trial involving former President Donald Trump. In his testimony, Professor Eli Bartov stressed that Trump's financial records did not show fraud. Investigations linked the cash to the Trump Organization and Save America. New York AG Letitia James filed a $250 million lawsuit against the Trump Organization. James claims the company inflated its assets by $3.6 billion to improve loan offers and commercial prospects. Mar-a-Lago and Trump Park Avenue may have been overvalued due to their accounting practices. However, there is more. They even overpriced Trump's Manhattan penthouse from $80 million to $180 million. In an astonishing turn of events, accounting expert Bartov testified and supported the Trump Organization. He claimed Letitia James' case was as weak as a house of cards and invalid under GAAP. Bartov denied any violations of provisions. Although he saw several discrepancies, he rationalized them as human errors and denied deliberate fraud. He brazenly said that accounting errors are unavoidable. Bartov took a riskier approach when he highlighted the subjective nature of monetary value, especially in real estate. He lauded Trump's financial records for their detail. Bartov believes Deutsche Bank, Trump's main lender from 2011 to 2021, might have appraised his assets using these documents. In this high-stakes legal case, controversy rages as subjectivity obscures the facts. Can Letitia James substantiate her claims? Or will the Trump Organization prosper from their financial manipulations? Only time will tell what occurs in this captivating story. This statement is the most detailed and transparent I've seen, said Bartov. President Trump's brand is worth billions. Bartov, a prominent Stern accounting professor, reportedly made a lot as one of Trump's expert witnesses. Rumors say he earned $877,550 at $1,350 per hour for 650 hours. The Trump Organization and Save America PAC divided this hefty sum, with the latter spending nearly $20 million on legal fees in the first half of the year. Barto has been a dedicated lecturer for about 30 years and coordinated the Outstanding Accounting Doctoral Program from 2001 to 2010. He teaches MBA and PhD students financial statement analysis using his experience. He covers accounting, reporting, empirical research, international accounting, and financial statement analysis. His research focuses on GAAP, financial reporting, stock valuation, and executive pay. Barto has advised and testified in fraud cases in addition to his academic work. Since August 2020, lengthy delays have frustrated Trump, who has labeled the case a witch hunt. 1 month after filing the case, Justice Arthur F. Engoron pronounced Trump, his sons, and several Trump Organization employees guilty of civil fraud. Trial testimony ended on December 13 after 11 weeks. The long-awaited Engoron ruling is now expected late in January. Although Barto's position is intriguing, he and the institution have kept silent. To address various comments,